Welcome to this how-to video by the English department. Today we're going to be looking at paper 1 question 3, which will ask you about structure. Firstly, we need to be clear about what structure is. Structure means the shape of the text. Some writers like to follow a traditional model where the story starts with a clear introduction. Perhaps we meet the main character or get to know a particular place before the action kicks in and builds up to a big climatic moment, maybe an explosion, a death, or a fight, before finally tying up any loose ends and allowing the main character to find peace. Other writers prefer a circular structure where the story starts and ends in the same place, with only a few details having changed. Basically, it's thinking of the extract as being like a jigsaw puzzle. How do the pieces fit together? A good way of approaching this question is to imagine the extract as a film. What does the writer want you to see? When do they want you to see it? And why do they want you to see it at that particular moment? What is the effect? In the exam, the question will ask you to look at the text as a whole. This is different to paper 1 question 2, which only requires you to analyse a few lines. So it's important that you reread the extract again so that you're absolutely clear about what's happening. Pause the video now whilst you read the text again. There are 3 things which everyone, regardless of target grade, needs to ask themselves in order to do well in this question. Number 1, what is the focus at the beginning? 2, what changes are introduced next? And 3, what are the contrasts or differences between the beginning and the end? Or, if we're thinking of the text like a film, what does the writer want us to see at each stage and why? In the opening paragraph, we are introduced to the setting. We are told about the wide avenue, the big whitewashed houses and lush gardens, and we're told that there are expensive cars on the driveways. The writer could be doing this to show the reader that this is an affluent place where wealthy people live, leading us to believe that it's not the typical place where crime would occur. The reader is then introduced to a named character and given some information about him. We can assume from this that he is going to be important to the story. Finally, we are told that he is sweating. Now, if we hadn't reread the text, we might assume he is somewhere hot. However, having read what he is doing, it is more likely that this is a sign of his nervousness, which makes the reader want to know why he's about to set the car on fire. The focus shifts in the second paragraph to zoom in on Shadow's actions. The fact the writer has given so much detail to describing this suggests it is an important event. The reader might assume it is a catalyst or trigger for something, leaving them wanting to find out more. Juxtaposing adverbs such as quickly and slowly suggest a state of conflict in Shadow's mind. He's not really sure how to approach the task. This could be because he's excited, or it could be because he's nervous about getting caught. Either way, it is designed to maintain the reader's interest. The end of the extract is set in the same place, but there is a suggestion that Shadow is no longer alone. The phrase, "he detected movement in the street," is vague enough to create a sense of mystery. We don't know who's there, but it adds to the suspense and tension of the overall extract. The writer foreshadows events later in the novel when he says, "in the coming days." This suggests Shadow is obsessive about what he's doing, but also that this isn't the first time he's committed a crime of this sort. It leaves the reader asking why and makes us want to find out more about him. The last word of the extract is a single-word sentence, paradise. This emphasises Shadow's overall emotions about setting the car on fire. It is almost heavenly. Let's recap all of that again by looking at a waggle answer. Pause the video now and read it to yourself. Now that you've seen how to answer the question, practice yourself. You can use any extract from a novel or play. Simply ask yourself, how has the writer used structure to interest you as a reader? Good luck.